you're wondering why I've got sunglasses on, it's purely to hold my hair back. I live in England and it's March. It's freezing. I've realised that I am a standalone girly. I like standalones more than I do series. No. Is that true? No. Maybe I don't like them more. I have more brain span. I feel like 95% of the books I read are standalones, not really as like a conscious decision. I think I'm just way less likely to start a series. Also, I feel like the kinds of books I read, the biggest genre I read is probably literary fiction or contemporary fiction, which are normally standalones, or romance, often standalones. But we have a few series I'm in the middle of, and I was looking at it the other day. I've got a nice little table, and I am in the middle of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 series, which I feel like is a manageable number, and I want to keep it a manageable number because I know what I'm like. I know what I'm like. I will start another 17 series and then I will never finish any of them. So my thinking is, if we tackle it while it's small, we still stand a chance to finish the series. The series that I'm currently in the middle of are A Court of Thorns and Roses. I have read the first book. The Magnolia Parks Universe. I have read the first book. The Family Upstairs. I have read the first book. The Atlas Six. I have read the first book. Are you sensing a theme here? Ninth House. I've read the first book. Gone. I've read the first 2 books. Shatter Me. I've read the first book. Gilded. I've read the first book. Icebreaker. I've read the first book. Those who are listening may have sensed a theme here. I have quite the tendency to read the first book in a series, love it, and then go, all right, let's do something else, and just never come back to them. I don't like that for me. I don't like that for me. I want to actually try and finish some of my series. So in today's video, we are going to tackle 3 series. And those amongst you who have watched my blindly unwrapping this month's TBR video will be aware that there are 3 series on that TBR. So it just makes sense. So the 3 series that we're going to be tackling today is going to be the Magnolia Parks universe, the Shatter Me series, and the Family Upstairs. I think I'm going to start with the Family Upstairs because that is a duology. So if I read the second book, I have finished the duology and then I will feel accomplished because I will have actually finished one of the series. This is The Family Remains by Lisa Jewell. The first book followed basically a family who took in a bunch of people and kind of became a cult. And it read to me like a thrilling literary fiction and I adored it. I ate it up. I'm a little nervous because I did read that probably 8-9 months ago. It was last summer. Whether I remember any of the details, because it was a fairly like complicated book, there was a lot going on, so whether I remember any of that is going to be questionable. But I feel like because I loved that book so much and I gave it 5 stars, I just thought it was incredible, I think there's a good chance that it will have stuck in my brain. And yeah, we're going to start this today and I will obviously check in with you as we go. So it's the same day, quite a lot later in the day, and I've actually made it to page 240, so I'm what, just over halfway? And I had every intention of checking in with you at 3rd and then just forgot. Just straight up forgot. But my thoughts so far, it took me a little longer than I would have liked to remember everything that was going on. And I think I've got there now, but it did take me a hot minute because it doesn't necessarily do that thing, which generally, to be fair, I find really annoying when books really over-explain the first book. Like, it didn't do that, which generally speaking, I really like. Like, I can find it quite annoying when you go into a book and they're like, oh, do you remember when this happened to us in the first book? Like, I find that quite annoying. However, I could have kind of done with it in this book, but it's fine. It's fine. I've remembered what's going on now. I also probably could have just like done a very quick Google search or like watched a YouTube video explaining like what happened in the first one. So I think it's fine. And also it's on me for leaving so long between the books. So like, that's not on Lisa Jewell, that's on me. But to be fair, I say it took me like a while. It didn't take me this long. It didn't take me half. It took me like the first few chapters. Like, it really wasn't that deep. I've made it deep. It wasn't that deep. Now that I have remembered what's going on, I'm having a jolly old time. It has the exact same thing that I loved about the first book, which is that literary fiction feel. Like, that is what I love. And actually, with all of Lisa Jewell's books that I've read, I feel like that's becoming a common theme, is that I think it's just the fact that her writing and her characters' backstories and like the motives behind everything are so like dark and complex and like sad often, that that's what lends it to that literary fiction feel. This just has like such an emotional depth to it that it just gives it this like something extra. One of my absolute favourite storylines in this is Rachel. Rachel is a character who wasn't in the first one. She's like in a kind of different timeline to everybody else in this book, and it might be my favourite part of the book. Maybe, I don't know. I really, really enjoy her like perspective, and like I feel like her storyline is so like gripping, and every time we move away from it I'm like, no, I want more of that. But then it also goes back, Lisa Jewell's pacing in this entire duology has been perfect, because she does this thing, and she did it in the first book, where every time you want to hear more of a storyline you cut to another one, but it's not frustrating. It's like, it just makes you want to keep reading, because then you cut back to a different storyline that you also wanted to know more of. I think Lisa Jewell might have done it again, I'm just saying. We'll see, but I'm enjoying it so far. Is this recording? No. Okay, that was recording. Lisa Jewell never misses. She never misses. I am on page 314, so I'm like kind of nearly done. I have just over 100 pages left. So I think we're definitely gonna finish this today. I literally am flying through this. It's the next day, I think, since when I last spoke to you. There's just, I said it in the last clip, but it's just something about this like literary fiction feel mixed with the thriller that I just adore. I eat up her writing, man. I will say, I can't remember if I said it before, but do check your trigger warnings. I feel like this has a lot of similar content that was in the first one. So if you've read the first one, it's quite a lot of similar content. But if you haven't read it either, then definitely do just look up the trigger warnings, because there is a lot of very dark content in here. I'm so sad, by the way, that this is nearly over, because this is a duology, right? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, thriller books don't normally even get a sequel anyway, so I'm like grateful we even have this. Also, I found out today that apparently, well, okay, don't quote me on this, but I read somewhere, Instagram, it might not be true, but I read that apparently this like wasn't supposed to have a sequel. Like, it was supposed to just have been a standalone, The Family Upstairs, and then the sequel kind of came because fans like really wanted one, which I feel like could have been a disaster, right? Like, sometimes when an author like puts out a book because the fans ask for it, when there wasn't supposed to be more of the story, it can feel a bit like it's just been dragged out for no reason. But this feels like it was always supposed to have a second half of the story. Like, the way, and to be fair, I don't know how true that is, but like, I think it is true. Feel free to correct me if anyone knows otherwise. I just feel like where The Family Upstairs left off, it was like 98% solved, but there was this like tiny little bit that was left open. So like, maybe it was always supposed to have a sequel. I don't know. Either way, point being, it doesn't feel dragged out at all. Like, it warranted 2 books. I kind of hope it warrants a 3rd book. Anyway, point being is I'm having a very good time, and I'm hopefully going to finish this. So hopefully next time you see me, I should have finished the book. That is officially our first series of the video complete. Is this the first series I've finished this year? I think it might be, actually. Well, so I kind of finished Fourth Wing in that I've read both of the books that are currently out. I don't know if that counts. Yeah, like I guess this is the first series I finished, but based on the fact that I haven't really finished any others, like, ever. I never finished a book series. Also, it's a duology, it's not that impressive. It's 2 books. Sorry, I'm having a little existential crisis here. Off the top of my head, I can't think of a single series of books that I've actually finished as an adult, because I never finished series. Okay, well, this might be an achievement, but like a really, really small one. Good for me. Anyway, I finished The Family Remains by Lisa Jewell. 5 stars, loved it. I love this duology. It's so like complex and hard-hitting, and I've said it a million times, but it's got the literary fiction mixed with like the pace and the like funness of the thriller. I love her writing style. I think she's great. She's done it again. For like a minute, I thought we might be getting a 3rd book. There was like something where I was like, maybe we could be, but then it kind of wraps up at the end, so I don't think we will be. But there's like something in the ending that's like, I think it's more just saying like, this particular character is just going to keep on doing the things that they've been doing. I know that's really vague in general, but I don't want to give anything away. I think it's more like, oh, they're not going to change as a person. But hear me out, maybe a 3rd book. When was this published? This was published in 2023. Sorry, I'm overexciting myself. I have absolutely no idea if there's plans for a third one. Like, this does wrap up. Like, I don't think there will be, but there's like the smallest amount of open-endedness that like maybe there could. But that's exactly how I felt about The Family Upstairs. It was like almost like 98% wrapped up, but there was like the tiniest little like, opening, and then there was another book. So like maybe there will be, but like maybe I'm just being hopeful. I don't know, but I had such a good time with this duology. So, as I mentioned before, we are going to continue with the Shatter Me series and the Magnolia Park series. So I need to decide which one I want to do next. Daisy Haites or Unravel Me? I don't know. I'm always inclined to pick the shorter book just because I'm ADHD. No, I am super excited to read both, and we're going to be reading both in this week anyway. But I think let's go for Unravel Me, which, if I'm correct in saying, I think I read the first book of this and the first book of The Family Remains in the same video, and it was either the first or second video ever on my channel. And listen, it's not a good video. I haven't watched it back, but it's not. It was the first video I ever filmed. It was back when I was living in this little flat above an Italian next to a pub. The audio was awful because it was a very loud flat. But like, if you want to go watch it and you can see me reading the first of both of these videos, look, I will link it up there. It was a while ago. It's more recent than I care to admit. But, you know, it was before I kind of got in the swing of things. But if you do want to go watch that video, I will link it up there for you. Sorry, all of that was to say that I read the first one of this, similar to that, quite a long time ago. But I remember this being like pretty straightforward and like easy to follow. It was about a girl called Juliet. It was a dystopia. She has like a touch that's lethal, so if she touches anyone, they die. And it was a dystopia, but it was very romance heavy, to the point where I probably would have just called it a romance set in a dystopian setting. But where that one left off, I feel like this one might be a bit more world buildy. Who knows? But yeah, I guess we're gonna find out, and I'm gonna start this now. It's actually the next day. I'm pretty sure I was wearing this exact same thing in the last clip, but you can tell it's a new day because it's now got toothpaste down it. I've just got in from work, so I'm quite tired. It's nearly midnight, but I just thought I would update while I'm awake. I don't know. I'm pretty much exactly halfway through the book. I've stopped on page 222. There is something about Tahereh Mafi's writing that I just fly through these quicker than any other book, and I don't know if it's because it's YA and it's just like easy to read, easy to digest. Like, it might be that. Or if it's just like because the plot is pretty fast-paced, because it is also that. This one is definitely more of a mix of plot and romance, which I said I was expecting, which is really fun because one of my favourite things about the first one was the world, and you got like glimpses of it, but like I think the first book was definitely more focused on the romance and the rest of it was kind of like peripheral, whereas I feel like now it's, I mean, don't get me wrong, this is still a romance, but no, like the sort of side characters now, there's so much more of a like focus on them and like the world and the I don't want to give anything away because second book. I watch a lot of booktube and BookTok. I don't have TikTok. What's the other one? Instagram, Bookstagram, whatever it's called. I'm so tired. What was my point? Warner. Yeah, I see the Warner coming and everyone's like, oh my god, Warner. And the first one I was like, what are you guys talking about? What are you talking about? I'm starting to see the setup for it. Obviously, we're getting like more of him and like his like intricacies in his personality. I'm not sure I'm like fully on board yet, but we'll see. There's time. We've still got half a book. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed and I will check in with you probably tomorrow. I've just been filming my May TBR, so I thought while I looked somewhat presentable, I would talk to you about this book. But we've just had a plot twist, which I did not guess in the first book. I had no idea in the first book. In this book, it crossed my mind. I won't say I like guessed it because I kind of was just like, oh, what if this happened? And then kind of like forgot about it. It was just like, I just had a feeling. I had a vibe, but I can't really say I guessed it because I did kind of like dismiss it. But yeah, it's a good twist. I think I'm just gonna chill down here for a little bit and do some reading on the floor. I reckon we're gonna finish this today. I reckon. I'm sorry, that's how you spell segue? What? S-E-G-U-E. Every day's a learning day. I thought it was so funny. Juliet and Warner are like having a fight. Having a fight. And he goes, I could respect your decision to shoot me, Juliet, but this is too much. Sorry, I just found that funny, I don't know why. I can't tell you what this is because it's a spoiler, but in my opinion, I'd rather that than being shot, but you know, that's just me. You do you, Warner. So close to the end. I've got, I don't know, like 50-60 pages left. I have finished Unravel Me by Tahereh Mafi. I have once again, much like the first one, flown through it. I don't know what it is about her writing style. It's just like so easy to fly through. It is so fast paced, like you can't possibly be bored. It's just like the story and just everything moves so quickly that it's just like easy to read, easy to digest. If you like, what's the word? Big declarations of love, you are gonna adore this. No spoilers, but like there are big like declarations of love like kind of throughout this, and I think if you like that kind of like immediate love, like that like very like drawn together instantly, if you like that kind of like love at first sight sort of thing, then this is absolutely the book for you, because it's very much like fell fast, fell hard. Also, I was so confused what everyone was going on about with Warner in the first book. Everyone was like, Warner, and I was like, are we reading the same book? Like, why are we in love with this guy? I kind of get it. No, I had a good time with this, and I really liked that it had a lot more of the world building in this one. You got a lot more of the like, not politics, but like the kind of like the different sides with the re-establishment that we had in the first one, and like the kind of battling and like war almost. It's not like big war scenes by any means, but there's just a lot more like focus on the world and the side character as well as the romance, whereas I feel like the first one was definitely a lot more romance heavy. And we are now done with the second book of this video, which leaves us with only one book, Miss Daisy Haites. Let's go. Hello. I feel like it's been so long since I last spoke to you, even though it's probably only been like 3 days. Also, I got a cute little book pouch. Isn't it cute? It has like a tarot card on it. I don't know anything about tarot cards, so I don't know if this is an actual tarot card or not, but this is the reader and I thought it was cute. The last few days, I have been making my way through Miss Daisy Haites. I'm on page... I've been using a sticker as a bookmark, and it is an ineffective bookmark, but it's cute. It says I'm a little superstar. And she's not wrong. Such a fun side story about this sticker. The character is called Flo, which is why it doesn't really matter actually. I'm on page 272, so what are we going to call that, 70%? We are making progress. I'm actually intending to try and finish this today. I'm enjoying this. I think everybody always says you're a Magnolia Parks girly or you're a Daisy Haites girly, and I read Magnolia Parks and I really enjoyed the drama. Like I enjoyed like the toxicity for like all it was meant to be, but I did say that I didn't like Magnolia as a character, like as a person, which like doesn't bother me. I actually really like unlikable characters, but I did wonder if I would like Daisy Haites more, and I definitely do. Like as a, again, not as a story, as like a character I can back. I'm like, oh, Daisy's cool. Daisy's very cool. This one is more like mafia vibes. Maybe not mafia, but they're like a crime family. Like literally the first line of the book is no guns at the dinner table. Also, sorry, I'm going back because I never filmed at the start, but the what do you call it? Dedication at the start is so freaking cute. It says, to my grandma Carol, I think you'll hate this more than the first one, but I love you more than ever. And close this book right now. You need not venture any further. Isn't that adorable? It's so cute. I feel like Jessa Hastings always writes the best dedications. I swear the first one was something like, it was something like to her husband, and I'm pretty sure it said, unless I've completely made this up, I think it said something like, oh, you probably haven't even finished my last book yet, but here's the next one. It was something like that. I don't know, I just thought it was funny and cute. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. The one thing I will say is I thought that, like, everyone's always talking about how much they love Julian, and girl, same, love. But I thought he was going to be in it more.
Like, he's in it a fair amount, but I think with the amount everyone was talking about him, I thought he was going to be like even bigger, because he's kind of got these like side plots going, which, by the way, I also love the side plots of like the crime family. Like, I find that so interesting. Although I will say the police detective in this, a little bit unprofessional in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, I've lost my bookmark. It's almost like the sticker was not an effective... Oh, what page was I on? Anyway, I'm gonna try and finish this today. Well, I'm going to finish this today because this video needs to come out, but we've still got... How many pages is this? 410, so I've still got quick maths, even quicker maths, 130-ish pages, give or take. No, oh, I don't know, like 140 pages. 142 pages. No. Why have I lost all abilities to do maths? Do you know what? It actually doesn't matter. Somewhere between 100 and 150 pages, which is like kind of doable. I feel like the font is quite big and it's always broken up with these like text patterns, and the chapters are super short, so like I don't think we'll have a problem finishing this today. It is a couple of hours later. I finished the book. I really like this family. I like Daisy as a character. I love Julian. I love the relationship drama that you got in this one, but I also love that there was like also so much more going on in their world, and they had all of this like family business stuff, and like also like their like backstory, Daisy and Julian's backstory, like that was super emotional, and it just like gave me this like actual real hook into that family. But this one kind of follows the same events sort of that Magnolia did. Like there are overlaps in the events, so I think it's going to be fun for like the next two books, because I think that then like moves on to like a new part of the story. So I'm like excited to see where that's gonna go. But overall, like, it's just a chillin', fun, easy read. I mean, there's some like darker emotional scenes, like I said earlier, all of like Daisy's backstory was like incredibly sad. But for the most part, you've got like quite a badass woman and like this crime family and this guy who's like obsessed with her but like doesn't want to admit that he's obsessed with her. I guess it is sort of miscommunication, but like that doesn't particularly bother me. But this like neither one of them kind of wanting to admit, like they're almost trying to outdo each other in terms of like neither of them want to admit how they feel about the other one. And I'm excited for the second Daisy Haites book, because if nothing else, it has probably my favourite cover of all the four. I mean, they're all stunning, but there's something about... Where is it? I have it around here somewhere. Like, that cover is so cool. I literally can't remember what we read in this video. We read this. What did we read? Unravel Me. What was the other one? Oh! This week's reading. So we started off with The Family Remains by Lisa Jewell. The follow-up and the final part to The Family Upstairs duology. Loved. Follows mostly all the same characters from the first one with a few like extra ones thrown in. It very much has this like literary fiction feel to it, where all the characters are so deep and complex and flawed. I love Lisa Jewell's writing, and I will read anything she puts out, and I'm so excited. I have a few more of her on my shelves that I still have yet to read, so very excited. Then Unravel Me, the follow-up to the Shatter Me series. Something about these books I just fly through. I find the writing style just so easy to binge. They're definitely more on the YA side. I know they're meant to be YA, but they definitely do read younger. This one has more of that like world building. There's like more of like an ensemble of characters. I feel like the first one, it was very like isolated. I feel like the first one was more romance heavy and this one was a bit more romance plot mixed, which was fun. And then finally, Daisy Haites by Jessa Hastings. This was fun, crime family vibes. Julian was super fun, Daisy was super fun, that whole family, like I feel like all of their like relationships were so like defined, and all the characters were like, they felt like very fleshed out, and like I really enjoyed reading about this family. And yeah, I'm excited for the second one. Fourth one. This was the second one. The second Daisy Haites book, you know what I mean. Anyway, there we have it. I feel like this video took me forever to film, but that's fine. I kind of, the next time I do this, I kind of want to do it by like a random number generator picks the series that I read. I mean, all three of these were on my monthly TBR, so it like made sense to just pick these. But I don't know about you guys, let me know what you think, but I always prefer watching videos where there's like an element of like chance to it. I don't know why, I think it does something to my brain where I'm like, unexpected. I just enjoy it, I don't know. Anyway, let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. For the time being, we've made some progress in the series. I have officially ticked one off, so I think we were on 9 series before, I guess we're on 8 now. Although actually, that being said, I remembered a series midway through that I forgot to add to the list, but I've now immediately re-forgotten it.
Oh, I think it was they both died at the end, because that now has a sort of no, it's not prequel. I don't know, it's like a follow-up, but it's like different characters. The first die at the end. So actually we've made no progress. I finished a series, but then I remembered a series that I hadn't added to the list. But you know. Anyway, sorry, this was a very chaotic outro, but oh my god, I've been talking for 12 minutes. That's ridiculous. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. We have fun over here. I've got some very fun videos planned and I'd love to have you. And I appreciate you being here anyway. Thank you very much and I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, magnificent rest of your day. Goodbye!